Well, you know, Christopher Biggins, let's take you for example. Christopher Biggins is coming in. He's done TV, plug the thing. But we had David Van Down the other day. This is maybe a better example. I said, David, he was on the phone actually, and I said, what is it like to be, you are now a C-list celebrity. I said, and what is it like to be, we weren't taking the mickey, but he must have thought, hang on, I had all those hits in the early 80s. Yeah. I was on stage here, I was #1, I was on top of the pops, and he actually told us how it felt and what he thinks of these reality TV shows, and it was very interesting. But because of that, I think a lot of people were a bit wary of us. They think we're going to play a trick.
Have a go on them. Yeah, I'll give you as good as you get. Whatever.
I've heard.
I reckon he would.
I've heard.
So there seems to be a difference with Christopher as opposed to somebody like David Van Day, who in the 80s that was his time. Somebody like you, who I mean, you just said that you've kept going for 40 years. When would you, if you were to look back on your life just before you pop your clogs, when would you say was your time?
Well, here's a question, and I'm often asked that. I always say that my time is now. Because I think now is a very exciting time.
Right, let me put it another way. When were you earning the most money?
No. I mean, I earn a lot of money now. I mean, it's very interesting because I do, of course, the niche that I've carved for myself is in pantomime, and I'm
as a dame,
I'm regarded as the best dame in the country.
I can believe that,
and that puts me in good stead. That gives me enough money if I just done pantomime in Nottingham Theatre Royal, and we broke all box office records. Claire Sweeney, Basil Brush, and myself, and
what a dinner party!
But so that's very good, and that enables me to do what I want to do for the rest of the year, which is fantastic. But I mean, obviously, the time that I was earning the most money when I bought my house in London and what have you was when I was doing Surprise, Surprise, which you can't remember, with Cilla Black. I mean, because that I was so well paid.
A nice contract with LWT.
Yeah, those were the days too when you had chauffeur-driven cars. You had, I mean, I had a new suit made every week by Tommy Nutter, the great tailor, and I had shirts from Terminal Asses and shoes made. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, you don't get those days anymore now because everything is changed, because it's all television, sadly, is run by accountants who have no artistic flair. Accountants.
Oh, right. We're going to take a break. Then we're going to be back with the one and only Christopher Biggins. It's 12:24. Right. If you only here to the top of the hour, 01983 822 002. Foxie in for the Dot. The Dot would have loved this today, wouldn't he?
He would have loved it.
Where is he?
He's working away. He's got business on the mainland.
Oh.
So, but he would love this. He did say send on his best. Send all his best. Right, have you got Christopher's surprise there, Jesse?
Pad for a minute.
Oh, okay, I'll pad for a minute. Don't look worried, Christopher. It's going to be all right. Hi, who's this?
Hello, do I have to say who I am?
It's Mr. T. Hello, Mr. T.
Hello,
you're through to Christopher Biggins.
Hello, Christopher.
Mr. T, how are you?
Hello, Christopher. Christopher, do you know someone called Kay Bevan?
Kay Bevan?
Or Jerry Bevan?
Do you know, the only Kay I can remember was a girl who used to live opposite us called Kay Noyce. Do you think she's changed her name? How old is she?
Oh, dear. Well, she's my stepmother-in-law. She's about 65 now, I suppose.
Right.
And obviously her father, and I'm trying to think of his name, and I can't think of his name now, was in the same profession as and things like that.
Right.
And because you belong to the Water Rats, don't you?
Well, fun if I don't belong to. I go to a lot of do's at the Water Rats and the Lady Rattlings.
She's often mentioned you, and I just thought if you'd remembered her, I would explain to you that Jerry passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh, I'm very sad to hear that.
But it is a pleasure. I'm not a massive fan of yours. I think a lot of your programs perhaps went over my head a little bit. But I know you do. I know you do, and you probably don't like to talk about it. But I know you do a lot of work for charity, and I applaud you, and indeed anybody else in show business that does.
Thank you very much.
It often goes unsaid, but we do know that people like yourself make a valuable contribution to helping underprivileged children, etc. So,
well, it's very good to be in a position to be able to put back into a business which has been very good to me. So I'm always, and I'm a particularly good auctioneer. Yeah. And that's where I've raised millions and millions and millions of pounds over the years. So I'm very.
But he doesn't like to talk about it.
I don't like to talk about it.
All right, Mr. T, let's get a Fee. Hello, Fee.
Hello, Alex. You all right?
It's Christopher, or as Jesse calls him, Christopher Biggins.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
I'm fine. I must say, one of my ultimate favourite films of all time has got to be the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I know, it's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, weeks on that film. We filmed at Bray Studios, and we got £100 a week, and we were stoned every day. It was fantastic. And at the end of it, I bought a sofa bed, which up until a couple of years ago, my brother still had.
What year was this?
Oh,
75, wasn't it?
Yeah, 75.
You know too much about this weird, wicked
I love it. I love it.
Forget Clockwork Orange. They should ban that.
I can picture Christopher with his little hat on with a bit of string coming his chin.
That's right, absolutely. It was great. Have you seen the new stage show?
No, I haven't. I used to go and watch it in the 80s when it toured then.
Well, you should go and see it now, because there is the most performance from the man who plays Frankenfurter,
Oh, really?
David Badella, who is extraordinary, and I think he's better than Tim Curry, which is
that
saying
the one
something.
Frank Skinner's mate?
No, that's David Baddiel.
That's Baddiel, yeah. This is Badella. He was in the musical, which got all the controversy, the opera, Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer.
And he
yeah.
played the lead in that, and he is extraordinarily talented.
Oh, right.
And if you get a chance, go and see it. Month's time, but that's quite away from here.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, what was it like working with Tim Curry, Richard O'Brien, Little Nell?
Oh, they were all wonderful, and you know, I suppose the greatest of them all was whose name is, this is age, you know, who's the big rock star now,
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf. I mean, he was fantastic, Meatloaf.
Was he?
And no, they were great. I still see Richard O'Brien quite a lot, you know, and luckily some of the rights have reverted back to him, because he sold them off, and which was terrible. Now he's earning a bit of money now, which is good, because it is a very, very, very clever show. I tell you, when we went to see the premiere, though, in a West End cinema, it was the most depressing night of our lives, because it was so terrible, and it appeared to everybody that we were in a flop. And so everybody went away, and it was only until the film started to get the audience it did in America, where they used to dress up, did it then become the massive hit it is. And of course, you know, years and years later, it's still that hit.
It's a classic, a total classic.
It is a classic.
Fee, we've got to move on, because we've got Roy the Whippet Man on next.
Can I
and
just ask one more question?
Yeah, go on then.
What was it like being kidnapped in Bad Girls? Because I think that was really good of you.
That was hysterical. That's a highlight I forgot. Bad Girls. I mean, you know, to go in and play myself in Bad Girls and be kidnapped. They were wonderful. We laughed and laughed and laughed doing those two
so
episodes.
funny.
It was
Such a
funny,
good
wasn't it?
sport.
I'm glad you like that.
You're such a good sport.
Oh, thank you, Fee.
Nice talking to you.
And
Thank
you.
you, Fee. Right, let's go to Roy the Whippet Man, one of our island characters here, Christopher. You're going to like this.
Right.
Hello, Roy.
Hello, Alex. All right, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, hello, Christopher. All right?
I'm very well, Roy. How are you?
Yeah, all right, thanks.
Good.
No, well, I mind going a simple two little questions. What year did you start?
Well, I was 18 years old. I was born in 48, so I must have started in...
60.
Yeah, 60.
No.
No.
No, that's 20.
And-
Foxy, help me
And
out.
how long
47.
did it take you to get really on your feet?
Sorry, say it again.
How long did it take you really to get going on
Well, I
your
suppose
feet?
if you say that the first thing that I became recognised in was porridge, I suppose that was...
Hang
Of
on.
course you were in
Oh,
for it.
Hang
oh,
on. No, Roy, he's mentioned... Hold your arm out. Go on, Jesse, it's your big moment. Jesse's
knows
made
that-
you a little present.